In. Oh.
Warning, the following program contains strong black first opinion about mature and strong subject matter that affects black America and the diaspora as a whole. Listen at your own risk, you sissy.
Grand Rising All. You are listening to the one and only Be One or None. Good morning from Africatown, Los Angeles. Ooh, Grand Rising.
Oh, we here.
We here. We got the nation in the house. Shout out to
What up,
Maya,
peeps?
Black
Peace, peace.
Love, and Kathy B.
Hello.
The rest of
Hey.
us right now we're on we waiting for the rest of them to come in. So we're gonna discuss this. I'm gonna just start off the top. Let's talk about who built America. And I had some more stuff that I needed. It wouldn't upload, but we're gonna talk about who built America. Now I want everybody. I'm not showing it yet, so give me 1 second. I want everybody that's listening when you watch the replay, etc., etc. I want y'all to Google AI. Of course, AI is controlled a lot by white people knowledge, but we're going to talk about how America was built. Okay. Now, the White House was built in 1792. That's when slavery was still alive and well, right? When did immigrants started coming to America? When did Black Africans start coming to America to work in America if slavery was still going? I want you to ask yourself that question. You remember back then, the Chinese and the Asians and everybody else were being mocked by American people too, because it was whites only. Do y'all remember that? They were discriminated, but they were not made slaves. I didn't see a Chinese person or an African person coming over here during slavery helping us fight, helping us cut down our loved ones that were hanging from trees. So with the White House being built in 1790, the first original White House, because it's been remodeled many a times, that was during slavery. By that time, slavery was already alive and well. We had children. We were here, etc., etc. Then during the passed on, we had the birthright citizenship because remember, Black people in America, the original people, which was the original Indians, because I wanted you to ask yourself this question too. If the Indians were white looking, then how come they weren't slaves? The Indians here were Black. If they were not Black, then who showed white people the cotton fields and the banana and the potato, all the stuff that we have in the industry, and how to take the cotton and use the cotton as material? This is why we were already here. It's called prisoners of war. And if we weren't already here, then what happened to the Indians? What happened to them? You think white people just brought Indians in? I want us to start using our common damn sense. You cannot get rid of a whole continent. There were no nuclear bombs at the time. It's in history. The White House was built in 1792 by slaves. Like Michelle Obama told everybody, and everybody like, oh, what? Let me grab my pearls. Okay. Now, when immigrants started coming in to help build, let me back up. The infrastructure of America was built by Black people, the Black people who were here. We had to cut down swamps. We had to dig trenches. We had to build the road. You had to clear the foundation. During that, some Black people worked, as the term says, your fingers to the bone, because there are books and stories that tell how the slaves worked so much that their ligaments would literally separate from their bones. If they were hurt and swinging these axes and blades to cut down the swamps and cut down the trees, if they were injured, they would be injured and still have to work until they died. That's the history of foundational Black Americans. That's the history of the indigenous Black Americans. That is our history. This shit wasn't happening in the Jamaica. It was happening on this land. Now, what stories the Jamaican families can tell about the sugar cane, that was on their land. I cannot go to Jamaica and stake claim on Jamaica if we claim we all from Africa, right? I can't go to Hades and say what happened in there. I'm telling the stories of our grandparents. And that's the difference. There shouldn't be no argument with immigrants, because immigrants, you were not coming here and say, hey, I want to sign up to be a slave. And I want to get sign up, because down in history, when you get ready to give out reparations, I need to be part of that. No African was coming over here saying, hey, these are our people, and went to war with white people here to save us. Nobody was coming from Africa then. The ones that was brought here might have been, I'm not saying some people weren't brought here, but it was not the majority of the slaves. Because if you look at a lot of the stories, it say the freed people and freed people and freed people and slaves built the White House. So who were the freed people? The people that they did not capture. Go to your Google. In the 19th century, the trans-colonial railroads, people that we were facing labor shortages. Remember, Black people, we built the way for America to have the money that everybody is coming over here to get. America built a money system, not Jamaica, not Hades, Haitians, not nobody else. America built a monetary system because of the free labor of the foundational Black Americans. The reason why we say foundation, because we built the foundation for white people, everybody else. That was our grandparents, and it wasn't that long ago. America is getting ready to be 250 years old this 4th of July. So it wasn't a long, long time ago. Your grandparents used to live to be about 100, right? So who knows their great-grandparents? Your great-grandparents told you stories, and nobody great-grandparents told them stories about their current parents and them coming over on a boat. So, yeah, there is immigrants that helped build after we built the infrastructure, after we built the White House, after we built the monetary system that everybody uses. Go to the stories of the slaves, of how we had to build everything, a foundation, just like now white people have taken Black inventions, and now you see cars and cars and cars, but you never give credit to the one Black person who built the first car. They might build better engines, but Black people built the first car. So you did not come in here helping build shit until after slavery was over. And that's where y'all not meeting the connection. Then when slavery was over, we built Black towns. I don't see your name nowhere saying that you helped build Black Wall Street, Rosewood, etc., etc. None of y'all immigrants were coming in here during slavery on your own to build nothing. And then there is no history of no slave boats. That's because you enslaved. They came over here and fought and enslaved and made the people who already here. It's kind of like I come in your house and rob you and make you take me to all your treasures and use everything. I just wanted to give that tad bit of history, because nobody came over here and built railroads and stuff. After we were freed and we were building stuff, the Irish immigrants came in. Then you have the draft wars, because we weren't considered human. Remember? We were not considered human. And when it was time to go to war, the Irish, the white, other people that came in here said that they were not going to fight for Black people. Now, it must have had been enough of us in our cities where they put up a fight with the government and said they were not going to go to war, while the Black people go to war too. But because we were not considered humans, remember, we couldn't vote. We couldn't go to war because they didn't consider us humans. And so you had the draft riots. The draft riots was the immigrants fighting white immigrants against the white government because they did not want to go to war to fight for a country that was being built by black people so that we can enjoy the fruits of our labor. So in the draft riots, they started burning down black orphanages. They didn't get mad with each other and kill each other. They attacked black people. Look up the draft riots. So when we talking about foundational black Americans, we laid out the foundation. We built the White House. We showed technology. We did the light bulb. We built everything. All these inventions, the machinery. Is it not told that we built machinery to make our lives easier? So to say immigrants built this country is a slap in the face. Y'all came and built on top of what we built. America did not let you in, and there was no trade system until we started working for free. Remember that why Abraham Lincoln had to emancipate us? We built the money system. And it wasn't, we keep talking about cotton. Alabama is the peanut state. You had cotton, peanuts. Peanuts is what George Washington Carver here in America built. He showed how to make peanut oil and peanut butter. Remember, they teach you that in school.
Facts. Can y'all hear me? Can you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you keep going. You cooking.
They teach us this in school. But yeah, y'all act like y'all don't want to put history together. Your mind is so all over the place that you don't want to learn your own history and put common sense together. America built the patent system because they were stealing the inventions from the black foundational Americans. Nobody was coming over to Africa saying, hey, I got this invention to help you pick that cotton, or to help you pick them peanuts, or to help you pick them oranges off the trees, or to help you build Massa House. None of that was going on. We think of slavery as just black people in old clothes with a coca sack picking up cotton. No, there was a whole system in place. The first black government was the black people. And we still don't know if that was really after slavery, was like maybe a bit after slavery or during, because it was ran by black people. That's why the first president was black. We just leave that little history alone because they keep burying it, and y'all just living off of what you see now. Can we admit that the first president was black? So let's talk real talk.
Yeah, some people say he was just in politics, but either way it goes, yeah.
We built the whole system. We had a whole system. The president was black. We built the Treasury Department and everything. We built the Treasury Department and all that. I don't know.
It's time to get all of it back. Like you said, we got to read history, but we got to get it back now because people look at the now.
Exactly, they looking at the now. And then what it is with the Grammys, and when people say they built it, like we were saying in before, everybody comes over here after we build. After we made our way and fought through white supremacy, we made our music. I don't care if the immigrants introduced drums and stuff. You act like we weren't over here making music already. Bump the rap. We were already here with the jazz and the blues. Raps came after that. I don't know no foreigner that was, if we were so out of Africa that long ago, then we would have been speaking an African dialect. We were speaking our languages here. It's proven how our history, our lineage, our bloodline, what they called us changed from Indian to Negro to colored to black to African American. It's in our documents. And why are we arguing with people when we can't go to your country and tell you what your history was? You're coming over here with our music, our movies. You have to learn to be us. You mimic us, and then you want to take the credit from us or who we are. We're not mimicking you. If we are all African, then our parents and our grandparents would have been teaching us African heritage. You just don't erase that. My games dropped out. You just don't erase that. That came in because we were already here. I'm waiting for mind games to come back.
But we were and we can trace back to at least 1700. Most of us.
Exactly.
Now,
And
that's
in
the bad thing
1700, we
about
were
it.
still
The
slaves, wasn't
bad
we?
thing about it is these crazy people do not understand how detrimental. What's this thing called? Common society. What's the common society? The YT people. They don't know how detrimental they are. They recorded everything because they were
Yes.
evil. Evil, evil, evil. But I'm glad they recorded it. It
Yes,
shuts those
they
people down.
recorded it.
It's written down. We have proof. We were here. Leave us alone. I
Yes.
don't know why they just keep on regurgitating the same crap. It's recorded. We have records. And to find out if you are foundational to this place, once you do your genealogy and
Man,
you see that you have
Kathy,
anybody
can
in
y'all
your
hear me?
family on the
They
Dawes
had trouble
rolls, that
connecting this
means that they
call
were
by
here. That person from the Dawes rolls. That's your lineage. So the,
Can y'all hear me?
100%.
you not people you not yeah, I
Can
have
y'all hear me?
family on the Dawes rolls because
You
these
sound low,
people
mind games. Go ahead. You got
Yeah, I'm
my
family.
rolling.
I'm low.
No, not you, Black
No,
Love. Mind
I'm just
games.
glad that they recorded it. So they need to stop harassing us. We are who we say we are. We're not telling lies
And
because it's been recorded.
yeah, our music we built in this country. We got awards. We were giving ourselves awards. We went into white places. We fought in millets in the wars in the armies, and we fought in our own inner cities and stuff. We built the music that we had. We didn't go to. We weren't going to Africa. We were already here. Even after slavery, we didn't go to Africa. Y'all didn't come and bring us like, hey, listen to this music. This is what we were playing. And we were like, oh, we like this African music. Now we finna turn it to American music. That didn't happen. So I want to play this. This about the Grammys.
Immigrants built this country, literally. Actually, so this is for them.
America's physical infrastructure was built on enslaved labor, not no damn immigration. Before mass immigration, all of that stuff began, the core economic foundation, ladies and gentlemen, of this nation, it was already laid. Foundation of Black American labor, we built the roads, the ports, the plantations, the canals, the rail beds, the government buildings, entire cities across the South and parts of the North, ladies and gentlemen. And the wealth generated from our labor financed all the banks, all the universities, all the insurance companies, all the shipping industries. All of early industrialization came from foundational Black American labor. The immigrants followed the goddamn infrastructure. They didn't create it. Don't let these people tell that lie.
Mind games. Yes, we can hear you. We were playing the video. Well, you sound like a robot. I'm just playing a video. I'm gonna play another video while you get together because you sound like a robot.
Can you replay that one?
Yes, I'm gonna play it again.
Can y'all hear me?
Okay, I heard it, but some parts of it, but not all of it.
Mind games. We can hear you. I'm playing the video. Hold on.
Okay, bet. All right.
Immigrants built this country, literally. Actually, so this is for them.
America's physical infrastructure was built on enslaved labor, not no damn immigration. Before mass immigration, all of that stuff began, the core economic foundation, ladies and gentlemen, of this nation, it was already laid. Foundation of Black American labor, we built the roads, the ports, the plantations, the canals, the rail beds, the government buildings, entire cities across the South and parts of the North, ladies and gentlemen. And the wealth generated from our labor financed all the banks, all the universities, all the insurance companies, all the shipping industries. All of early industrialization came from foundational Black American labor. The immigrants followed the goddamn infrastructure. They didn't create it. Don't let these people tell that lie.
Did you hear that?
Well said. We heard it.
That's why I said when Tyreek tells the truth, they accuse him of attacking. But I said on TikTok, and we talk about, we'll be on TikTok at different spaces talking about our history, and these immigrants will get on there and say, oh, y'all ain't did nothing. Y'all argue. You got ghettos. And that's where the argument comes in, because I found myself arguing with them. And then I'm like, no, and it was the Americans. No. So, and I told one how my family told me we were the original immigrants. We all have stories of our Black foundational American people, ADOS or whatever. We have stories of our parents telling us we the original Indians. We were taught to ignore our parents and listen to others. And somehow she got on there telling us that we are lying, this and that. And I'm like, so you're telling me my grandparents told me a lie? Why would my grandparents claim to be the Indians and not tell us stories about Africa? That made no sense. I'm going to play another thing, of course. One moment. Okay, 1 second. I'm going to play this because, you know, it shouldn't be an argument of who we are. If immigrants are our friends and stuff, they should be cheering us on for who we are, not telling us who we're not, and then standing on our stage giving thanks to themselves. How come we are not going accepting wars in Africa, Jamaica, or any other place? How come they're on our platforms that we built to take over because they attach themselves to us when we say that we're African? So they're, oh, well, you're African, we can take this, but nobody else is taking anything in nobody else's country. Jamaicans are not forced to say, give thanks to Africa for what they built. Are Africans going in Jamaica taking over and telling them that they are originally African? They call themselves Jamaican. We call ourselves FBA. What is the difference? I'm going to play this.
If you think Native Americans were the first here, but you're still curious about hidden histories, then buckle up for a revelation. Let's dive into the untold history of Black American Indians. Before the Siberian migrants crossed the Bering Strait, black people were already thriving here. Yes, you heard that right. Early civilizations, older than many African ones, left traces from South America to the southwest US. The Olmec heads in Mexico, definite African features. Fast forward to the Dawes Act of 1887. Non-natives paid $5 to be recorded as Native American, erasing the true indigenous black people from history. Their identity was changed from Indian to Negro to colored and finally African American. Why erase them? Colonizers needed the land, and rewriting history made it easier. But the truth, Black American Indians were the original stewards. It's time we revisit history with fresh eyes. Like, share and subscribe for more hidden.
They have a problem with our truth because they want to make us immigrants. Long as they keep saying that the people who built America are immigrants, everybody can benefit off of us. But when you go to Africa, they're not Africans. Oh, I'm Nigerian. I'm Igbo. I'm Ghanaian. I'm Senegalese. Africa let other people take over Dubai. You think you're going to Africa because you're in Dubai. You're not going to see your people, no heritage, your ancestors. You're going to see a city built by money that was stolen from the rest of the country while Ethiopia is starving their children to death. We built this here. We didn't send pictures of our children for African to feed the children, American children. I'm not down in Africa, but if you are the same type of people we are here, then why are you not fighting, and why isn't Africa fully developed as much as America is? Now, how come they don't have what we have? How come there are not states? Africa has 8 billion black people, black-skinned people. But the problem is that they can call themselves Nigerian. The Dominicans can call themselves Dominicans because of where they're from, their foundation. Jamaicans can call themselves Jamaican. Haitians can call this Hades can call themselves Haitians. And when you get here in America, where the money lie, where our grandparents picked the fields and dealt with master and used our grandparents' breasts to feed the white woman, and our grandparents, white women children, and she couldn't even use her breast to feed her own child. Our ancestors' breast was used as tobacco pouches. They ate us. They put all the torture that was done. Out of all that, we still rise, as said, still I rise. We still been doing. We took everything we built here, and when we go to Africa and different places, why they keep saying stay in your country like it's a battle, we come and bring money. We bring money to the country. We acknowledge that you are our sisters and brothers from afar off, our cousins. When we come to your country, we come to learn. We come to respect. We embrace your history from Africa. But yet it's a problem when we're in our own spaces that we built. When we call ourselves FBA, there's a problem with us claiming our own work by the labor that our grandparents and parents put in. There is a problem when we say FBA, because you want us to say we're immigrants so that we don't be entitled, and that's a white man's trick. That is white society trick. That is a colonizer trick, because when we all claim our land, Queen Kathy done found her family had a whole town here. Because when we claim our land, that means we claim, Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, the land you're on belongs to my grandparents, and I need you to take it, get off of it. Just like Bruce Beach. Them black people found out they had a beach and they sold it right back to the colonizers, and everybody like, well, they had $300 million. Well, you could have turned it into a black luxury. You not even for black, you could have turned it into like all the other beaches and made money over generational wealth. But how did those black people, if they were not here, if black people weren't in India, how the hell did these black people get a whole beach given back to them?
Exactly. There's been many more. I know California, they were working on another one too. But yeah, there's several.
Yeah.
And yeah, my family does have a whole town. They had a college in the town also.
Thank you.
So they still have the heritage for it.
And when your family talked about your history and you went back, did you connect yourself? Besides this genealogy, when people talk about this, we can look in the records. Has anybody seen a record where their family was sold into not slavery inside of America? See, it was an inside America slavery, selling the black Indians, the indigenous, the FBAs. Does anybody in your family, anybody that traced their roots? I'm not saying some people ain't. Trace the boat that your family was in and trace it to a tribe somewhere in Africa among the 54 states in Africa?
Nope.
Everything we trace here.
Y'all hear me now?
Exactly. But they're charging us to go see it in Africa.
Yes.
And we still falling for the banana in the tailpipe and going over there.
They got the door to nowhere in Africa, yes. And they're charging us money to come see what you claim took. And if they were Africans and we were African, then how come you ain't got no money? That is, they want our reparations because they won't fight France and Britain, who they have been sending $500 billion a year up until 2 years ago to pay. They were still paying slave wages. Why didn't y'all get together and make your own civil rights and fight? And when we come visit with our money, and y'all come visit with y'all money. Why is it not a two-way street here? So I'm not mad with immigrants. We don't have no problem.
D-Maze, you in the Matrix.
Yes, we can't hear you, D-Maze. You in the Matrix bad. I'm going to play this while D-Maze come out the Matrix.
And all we're saying is tell the truth.
Yes. Listen to this. Well, I played that. To tell the truth. This right here is a old. I got this off the Roots, and it just shows.
I'm still in the Matrix.
Yeah,
I'm still in the Matrix.
Very much so. Hey, Queen, did you play something? Because it didn't play. If you did.
No. Okay, I'm gonna play this.
You gonna go when we start revolution? Whose side are you gonna be on? Are you still gonna be on your knees begging for us jobs?
I will, as Mr. Meek said, he wouldn't his die standing on his feet rather than to die on his knees. I will die standing up for God, regardless of any circumstance.
Okay. Have God ever told you to let this white man rule you like he is?
Well, young man, you first must be born again. God is a spirit.
I ain't born again. I ain't got to be born again. See, I was born in a new generation. Your mother could have brainwashed you, but can't nobody brainwash me. I'm ready. It's gonna take young boys like us to win the revolution.
The white peoples realized today that they was wrong for enslaving the Negro. The great mass. May I finish? I'll wait.
This footage comes from a live public television special that aired in 1968 at a moment when the country was deeply divided and public conversation had nearly collapsed. The producers made a deliberate choice to broadcast these discussions as they happened without editing because the goal wasn't presentation, it was exposure. What you're about to watch isn't a documentary or a debate staged for television. It's a real argument unfolding in real time between civil rights activists, ministers, lawyers, teachers, and people who lived in the neighborhoods being discussed. One of the central figures in this footage is Russell Meeks, a civil rights organizer working on Chicago's West Side. He believed that nonviolence had reached its limits, while others in the room believed violence would destroy any chance of progress. The purpose of this reel isn't to tell you who was right. It's to slow the moment down and let you hear how people were thinking before history pushes the story to where it is now.
I'm Dave Dugan.
What you say, Queen?
Okay,
Yeah,
some of it's playing and some of it's not, and it's kind of skipping. Because I wanted to hear what the young man was saying, but it was like the first part of it was cut out, and then the second part you played, it was going in and out.
Okay.
Can y'all hear me now? I'm still in the matrix.
Yeah,
You
hold
sound
on.
better, but still something is going on with your phone.
Okay,
that young man. The minute I heard him, I said, "Wow, he sounds like the new young people now." Who's pushing off?
And this is why our history was being erased back then. And I played that to show how we've been being played against each other when we were fighting and standing up. And you see the people in the room. You didn't see immigrants. You seen Black foundational Americans fighting with the white tea people here so that we can build our communities. And then after that, was after those times, because remember back then that was 2-parent households. We were 2-parent households in America. Why immigrants listen to the white society, because I've heard them, I've argued with them on live with saying that we are baby mamas, y'all got baby mamas, y'all baby daddies and stuff. No, this is the conditions of things that's happened to us, because after then we had young men like that when you had the father in the household, the mother in the household, and we were all on code fighting for the same thing. We weren't arguing that we were immigrants and Indians. We knew who we were. Then after that, when they seen unity, they knew they had to destroy us because we had our young men fighting. But you see the preacher, I'm sorry, church people, you seen that man talking about no, when he asked whose side you're on, and then the man said, I'm on the side of the Lord. You got to first be born again. Born again for what? That religion stuff has gotten us in a worse situation because we keep saying God want us to forgive, and God might want us to slap faces and take back what's ours. Y'all keep putting words in God's mouth. Your enemy uses God and he justifies what God is saying, and we use God to be slaves. We keep using God to say, God said, oh, turn the other cheek. It sounds crazy when this young boy was fighting. This is why our young men stopped fighting, because we have leaders like that led us into a burning house. The church has done more harm to the Black mind than white supremacy, because white supremacy is just a little war, a spot on our history, and we won't rub it out because we keep saying that God want us to all kumbaya. Now we would, oh God, we all the immigrants need help too. When God give us common sense. We won't use common sense with white supremacy or immigration, and seeing how both of them are destroying the foundational Black Americans. We are being destroyed every generation because we are getting it wrong. It's okay to be selfish for once. I'm pretty sure God is up there clapping like, I gave you power. I gave you a mind. I gave y'all the mind when y'all was in America creating inventions. I gave y'all minds to fight back. I gave you the mind, but you won't use the angels, and you won't use the mind and the strength I gave you. You keep humbling yourself. Nobody told you to humble yourself before a white-owned system. Nobody told you to humble. Nobody told you to forgive. Nobody told you to feed somebody else's children before you feed your children.
You gonna go when we start revolution? Whose side are you gonna be on? Are you still gonna be on your knees begging for us jobs?
I will, as Mr. Meek said, he wouldn't die standing on his feet rather than to die on his knees. I will die standing up for God, regardless of any circumstance.
Okay. Have God ever told you to let this white man rule you like he is?
Well, young man, you first must be born again. God is a spirit.
I ain't born again. I ain't got to be born again. See, I was born in a new generation. Your mother could have brainwashed you, but can't nobody brainwash me. I'm ready. It's gonna take young boys like us to win the revolution.
The white peoples realized today that they was wrong for enslaving the Negro. The great mass. May I finish? I'll wait.
This footage comes from a live public television special that aired in 1968 at a moment when the country was deeply divided and public conversation had nearly collapsed. The producers made a deliberate choice to broadcast these discussions as they happened without editing because the goal wasn't presentation, it was exposure. What you're about to watch isn't a documentary or a debate staged for television. It's a real argument unfolding in real time between civil rights activists, ministers, lawyers, teachers, and people who lived in the neighborhoods being discussed. One of the central figures in this footage is Russell Meeks, a civil rights organizer working on Chicago's West Side. He believed that nonviolence had reached its limits, while others in the room believed violence would destroy any chance of progress. The purpose of this reel isn't to tell you who was right. It's to slow the moment down and let you hear how people were thinking before history pushes the story to where it is now.
I'm Dave Dugan, and we've invited a cross-section of concerned citizens to...
Okay, shout out to Roots Preserved. If you want to see more, y'all go out there and go to their website, because that's where I got it from. And I mean, I'm not trying to hold on.
Get the job done. That's why they.
But I want y'all to that's why I get it, because see, what I do is I give credit to where credit due. I know enough to research.
Good. How about you?
Huh?
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for acting. The new year treating you well?
Yes. Yes.
My bad, Kathy was on there. I want, if y'all can hear me, I want us to, I don't reinvent the wheel. There's lots of people who done the work. You can go to Dane Calloway. We have to respect everybody in their respectable places. I'm not a full researcher, but I do my research. We have people that does a lot of stuff out here, and we need to respect them, just like the respect that we're telling the immigrants to give us for the work that we have done. I want y'all to look at this right here too. I'm getting ready to share this screen 1 minute. And I want y'all to see how we have built things that have been taken from us. Hold on, let me add Mind Games back to the stage. I think he's in a better place. I'm getting ready to share something. And I'm sharing this stuff because I'm showing how we have been fighting year after year, decade after decade. And then for immigrants to come over here and get it easy and then discredit us when we say who we are instead of learning us, it's a slap in the face. We already deal with white supremacy, and this is how they sound. Okay, one moment. Hold on one second. Y'all can talk. If Mind Games, are you there? I'm downloading something right now.
Can y'all hear me? How I sound now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you
okay.
now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I probably was outside.
Okay, I think I got it. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna try to play this. I was playing something. And I'm trying to see if it'll play, but if not, then I might have to play it from somewhere else. But
I lived in the slums. I'm not ashamed of it. You know, nobody helped me get where I'm at. So then I.
Okay, let me see if it'll play. Hold on. This is that continued. I've seen other content creators. Oh, Lynn, you're on here twice. Oh, y'all there? Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Mind Games, can you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I'm gonna play this.
Is the same as these boys here, because I lived in the slums. I'm not ashamed of it. You know, nobody helped me get where I'm at. So then I am is the same as these boys here, because I seen little white kids as well as colored kids together digging out of garbage cans, not separately. Together, we walked Madison Street. We tripped over probably the same drunks in front of Rothschilds that are still there now.
Did y'all see that?
So what about me? Am I a poor white person? God help me, give me mercy. I want white power then.
I'm sure you do. You should have it, baby.
What about Broadway? What about Park Street? What about Wilson Avenue?
You want to let me address my...
I think StreamYard is tripping. I don't know if y'all heard it or hold on. Were y'all able to hear anything? Mind Games? Lynn?
I could hear it, and I saw it, but then it went away. But I don't think you can hear me.
Okay, did you hear? Okay, I'm gonna share it again then.
I heard the lady talking.
You heard the lady
and
talking?
You showed and you showed something in writing, and then it went away. So did you take it off?
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you, Mind Games.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Ashamed of it.
I don't know. It keep cutting me out.
So then I am is the same as these boys here, because I seen little white kids as well as colored kids together digging out of garbage cans, not separately. Together, we walked the alley. We walked Madison Street. We tripped over probably the same drunks in front of Rothschilds that are still there now. So what about me? Am I a poor white person? God help me, give me mercy. I want white power then.
Now I don't hear it.
Yeah.
This thing is freezing. I just don't know what it's doing. It keeps freezing up. Hold on.
Somebody don't want us to get the message out.
Let me see if I could play it again. Let me see if I could. This lady, she was just debating. Let me see.
You know, nobody helped me get where I'm at. So then I am is the same as these boys here. Because I seen little white kids as well as colored kids together digging out of garbage cans. Not separately. Together we walked the alley. We walked Madison Street. We tripped over probably the same drunks in front of Rothschild that are still there now. So what about me? Am I a poor white person? God help me, give me mercy.
No, and I don't blame you. And if I had the thing you had, I wouldn't want to give it up either.
Do we come and march and you say, look at our poor people, look at our hungry
No,
babies?
you don't have to come because we can't solve your problem. You have to solve your own, and we want to solve our own.
By violence?
Who said anything about violence? Everybody here is talking about violence, but
He said he believes in violence. I want to know
doesn't he have a right
why.
to? They're going to take him in a few years and teach him to kill with the best weapons available.
They taught my brother to kill too.
Okay, so ask the United States government about violence, baby. They live on it. They thrive on it. They're enmeshed in it. This is the most violent society in the world that you run, baby. You hung black men up by their heads and cut their bodies to pieces. You burn women to death. Yes, I got the pictures on my wall. I was tied to a tree by the plant and had a knife run through my body.
You never seen white people killed though.
White people, I'm not worried about them.
Fifth Avenue and Ketty and I watched them die in front of me.
That's tough.
As a kid.
That's tough. That's tough. But we're talking about black power, black society,
That's all we hear.
divorce from white society. You were here at a town meeting. Go home if you don't want to hear, baby. Go home. Because we don't need you.
You don't want to hear us, you go.
No.
Well, let the lady speak.
You're the one that's crying the loudest.
Who's crying, baby? I'm not crying.
I'm trying.
Do you know the difference between defiance and a cry? You're talking to a black man, baby. I don't cry to white folks.
I talk to them all
I'm
my
talking to my
life.
people, not even to you.
I talk to them all
Hold
my
it, Mr.
life.
Meek.
So you're singing the blues.
But you're blaming us. We got a right to
Blaming
stand
you?
up and defend ourselves.
Defend yourself. I glory in your spunk, baby.
Hold it, Mr. Meek.
Wipe the blood off your hands
Hold
before
it.
you
There ain't
slam.
no
Hold it.
blood on mine.
All right, we're going. Yeah. I will in a second, but I just want to clarify this. Your point simply is this, ma'am. You believe that when you lived in the neighborhood where Mr. Meek
Yes.
was, there were 75% Negro then, and you say that the friends that you went to school with, as well as yourself, worked their way out of the ghetto.
That's right.
And you believe that anybody can do it if they want to?
That's right. That's ridiculous.
All right, let's let this gentleman back here. Here's a white man. Let's let him say
white
this.
people have to tell some ignorant white people that they should start listening to Russell Meek and Gene Williams and Dick Gregory and Bob Lucas. And I'd like to ask this woman if she honestly believes there isn't segregation in Chicago, and if she's been to the schools. I teach in the West Side. My name's Richard Kelly. I teach in Upper Grade Center in the West Side. And I next year, conditions are worse than last year. I have 39 in the class where I had 35. We have a white principal, white assistant principal. The Negroes that teach our school are afraid to open their mouth because they're afraid that they're going to lose their job, their times. There's a lot of segregation, not only in housing. You can go in the different neighborhoods. Ma'am, I don't see how you can sit here and dare to talk to Russ Meek and say there isn't segregation in Chicago.
So that was interesting.
Yeah, hold on. I do not know how to stop this. I don't know which stream y'all has done. It's not letting me stop sharing. Hold on. It's still sharing it. But either which way, that's where I got it from. And StreamYard is like just tripping, you know. Okay. That's where I got it from. And what I put that there because I want us to see the struggle that we have been going through. When we argue with immigrants, it's like we're arguing with a white person about what we're doing for us. When we're telling immigrants, like, yeah, we're not denouncing what you did, but we're talking about us. That's us in those forums. That's us that's been dealing with our own white supremacists. They have white supremacists on their land that they refuse to deal with. So after all this, after we make headway, after we pave the way, then y'all come over here and try to insist that you helped us build America, that you helped us fight. You come over here and tell us who we are and who we're not, and we've been fighting our own white demon for forever. And that's the difference. I want to show you another thing. Hold on. I'm gonna see if it plays.
Children alive in front of him. Not be
Okay. And like I said, these examples that I'm playing are just showing what we have done and what we have been through. And when we did fight, we have immigrants calling us ghetto, this and that. We had a lot. So when they erased our history, when they did everything to us, then they turned around and erased us some more. They erased more of us.
of him. Not because he was poor, but because he owned more land of him. Not because he was poor, but because he owned more land than any white man in America. His banks held millions. His name was on 30 children alive in front of him. Not because he was poor, but because he owned more land than any white man in America. His banks held millions. His name was on 30 properties. But you'll never find him in history books. Because in 1921, being a wealthy black man wasn't just dangerous, it was a death sentence. And he wasn't alone. 4 other families. Same fate. Same silence. This is the story they never wanted you to hear. History has a way of forgetting what it needs to forget. You've been taught that black people were slaves, then sharecroppers, then servants struggling to survive. What you weren't taught is that between the 1500s and 1920s, black families built economic empires so powerful they terrified the people who claimed to be superior. From African kingdoms that controlled the resources Europe desperately needed, to American entrepreneurs who owned entire city blocks, these families didn't just survive the system. They beat it. They became richer than the people oppressing them. And that became their crime. Because when a people's wealth threatens the narrative of their inferiority, that wealth must be destroyed. Not just taken, erased. Libraries burned to ash. Property deeds stolen in the night. Entire families murdered in their beds. Names scraped off maps as if they never existed. This wasn't random violence. This was systematic economic warfare designed to make sure future generations would never know what their ancestors built. Because wealthy black families proved one terrifying truth that white supremacy couldn't allow. The whole system was a lie.
This is the history that they don't want us to know. This is what we've been through. And to argue with immigrants, to say that they can't erase an immigrant from history because it wasn't your history. They argue with us that we weren't the original Indians when you hear the extent that they went through to erase us. I played several videos. Go replay the live to show there is more evidence. I'm not the researcher. I'm just the messenger. You have Dane Calloway, he researches. You have this program that I got it from the Roots, and just go back and look. The Root, I forgot what let me get their name correct. Okay. D May said StreamYard keeps kicking him out, but it might be his location. But we have evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence, and it's hard to even get some black people to see that. We want to just play the little story. Oh, you came on a boat from Africa here when there's no proof of no boats. They have all these museums, and they ain't got no boat as a museum to show you where you went down. They have things that they made up. They have replicas that they made, but where is the original boats? If these boats was over 200 years old, where are they at when we have artifacts and everything older than America? Stop trying to erase foundational Black American history. where you call us the Moor, ADOS, all the names that we have been trying to rename ourselves to, give ourselves a classification, because as you see in the videos, they went through extensive ways to erase us. They erase maps. They burned down libraries. They burned books. Why? Why would all that be done to the people in America? Because you need to hide the truth about us. So if any immigrant wants to come over here and piggyback off of what we've been through, you have not been through this. You were not over here. It's an insult to tell me that my grandmother came from Africa when my grandmother told us we were here. My grandmother's sister, my great-grandmother's aunt was Aunt Pei Sue. I remember her with the thick braids sitting there. She just died a couple of years ago, over 100 and something years old. That means Aunt Pei Sue knew her grandparents and her great-grandparents, because I know my great-grandparents. So stop telling us what we are. I shouldn't have to get on TikTok and social media arguing with somebody who's not from here. You got on a plane and came here. You didn't get on a boat and come here unless you're an illegal immigrant. And then you come here and you learn white history, and then you want to tell us what we are. That's where the problem and the anger comes through, because one girl got on there, why are y'all Black African Americans so angry when we tell you about the truth? Because that's an insult. Give me and my people the credit we deserve. Separate yourself from if we want to call ourselves FBA, it's no problem. If we want to call ourselves more, if we want to call delineate, that's our problem. We're not leaving you out. You have your history in your land, and you should go after your government, because y'all have Black presidents and leaders. We don't. But we want reparations for what our family had, not just for slavery. As you can see, we had wealth after slavery. They burned our towns down. We weren't in the ghettos. We were put in the ghettos after they destroyed and flooded all our towns. We had jobs. We didn't need anything from nobody but us. And that wasn't enough. So let's learn our history and stop arguing with us. And Black Americans, Black, I'm not even going to say African Americans, because white people are coming from Africa, South Africa, like Elon Musk. And now he's an African American. We keep trying to they keep pouring sand on us. As soon as we kind of get a little finger to the top, they dump more sand. It's going to take all of us pushing one after the other out and saying, hey, we're here. Remember, I always use the terminology, Horton hears a who. When in the Horton hears a who, they're yelling, we're here, we're here. And he's telling, yell louder, because they're getting ready to destroy this little weed that they were on. And then he kept saying, there's people living here on Horton hears a who. And they thought he was crazy. And he was like, they were like, ain't nobody here. They were going to burn it. And he kept telling the people, yell louder so they can hear you, until they finally broke the barrier. And that's what we're doing as FBA. FBA has just taken off because it's the word foundational, meaning we built the foundation. We didn't say y'all didn't come in after the foundation was built, but we built the foundation. We built the foundation of making our styles go worldwide. Y'all are copying off of us. We built the foundation of the hairstyles. We built this foundation that made it cool to be Black. We built the foundation because we were forced to wear white makeup, wear white hair, and we brought it back to make it cool to be Black. Now everybody want to be foundational Black. Everybody want to be a Black American. You want to sing and act like us. We made that cool. We didn't go to Africa to make that cool. So stop lumping us in with Africa. Everybody is so-called from Africa, but you landed where you're at now. So all of us that's here now in America, stop trying to take our title away from us, and stop, because we want to label ourselves. Stop telling us, like I said, the Igbo and whatever religions y'all have, y'all don't mix in Africa. And those African countries are white countries. Why don't you try to find out what Nigeria was before the white man named you? Why you won't find out what Ghana was before the white man named you? Y'all are walking around with white names, and we are sitting up here telling you we're getting our stuff back. You fight in your home, and we're going to fight in our home. We all been robbed, but you can't re-rob us. And I land my plane. Queen Lynn.
Queen There's too much going on right now. A lot is going on right now.
Hey.
Yes.
Glad that we have the records to prove it. They just need to leave us alone.
We just got to get our records and keep on going and keep on saying who we are and keep on fighting. We were millionaires after slavery. Like the last video I just played, there were black people who had more money than white supremacy because they blow their money. Just like now, America is in a deficit because they have a hunger and a greed that can never be filled.
Yeah.
Right.
They have a lust and a hunger, and they trying to put that on us. We got so many black millionaires today and that don't stay millionaires because you're trying to live through the eyes of white people. They have a hunger and a lust that can never be filled. They are their hearts is attached to evil. Not where everybody we are everybody people, not them. And it's time we admit it.
Yeah. It is unfortunate that we are in everybody people. These people in the comment section was cracking me up.
Well,
somebody was saying, wait, I don't even know whose thing I was watching, but they said, wait, hold on. You mean the Harlem Renaissance was happening the same time as the Great Depression? I said, yes, because there are two Americas, a Black America and a white America. Learn the difference. There are two Americas.
That's what we've been saying. And Martin Luther King said it. There's two America, and all Tariq Nasheed did was name the other America that labeled us FBA, Foundational Black. The problem with ADOS is descendants of the it was American descendant of slaves. But when you put that slave on it, everybody hops on because they say, oh, the slaves came from Africa. So you mean that nobody from Jamaica come over here? There were slaves in Jamaica. They was doing the sugarcane fields. Y'all got your own stories to tell. Okay, just think of it. Think of this. If slaves came from Africa, how come there was no slaves in Africa? If slaves came from Africa, and that's where the white people got slaves, how come there was no slavery in Africa? Where is the lynching? Where is where the white people made Africans build Africa? I want
Girl, you're saying something. You are saying something because I never thought about that.
Make you think.
Where's the slaves in Africa? If the white people did the same stuff to us, how come Africa is not as popular and built as America? How come there was not a monetary system on the biggest continent on the earth with everything if slaves came from Africa? It said many times we were more advanced here in America. And that because we were already here and they took over what we had.
That's the next question too.
Someone said that there were slaves in Africa over thousands of years. Prove it. What did the slaves in Africa do?
Right. Where is that written?
There were wars. But what did the slaves in Africa do? Where's the books? What a slave mean you did something for nothing or slaved yourself. If the slaves were in Africa, where is the books where they were slavery? Where they were taken over in Africa. I'm not knocking that. They were robbed and stuff. I hear that they making them slaves now. But what were they slaving to? What were they? What if they were slave? What were they forced to do in Africa?
They were certainly not forced to build it. I can tell you that.
I just want to know, because over here we were forced to build a monetary system off of what we already knew. We already knew the cotton plants. Can't nobody come from a place that was uneducated Europe who thought they were going to fall off the edge of the earth because they thought the earth was flat. Let's go back in what they taught us now. And then they didn't know about boats. They taught us all these years Christopher Columbus came to America, but now we found out he was lost at sea and never made it to the Americas. So if Christopher Columbus never made it here, how can they bring people here to go? I'm going to bring you from Africa, even though there's people there, and I'm going to take you to this place called America, and I'm going to make you pick a plant I have never picked before that I don't know nothing about because I never made it to that land. How can I tell? How that'll be like I'm gonna kidnap some people here in America and take them to Jamaica, and I don't know where the fuck I'm going. Somebody said, "Damn, Kathy B is a silver fox." I just seen it. Y'all always. I'm sorry, I just happened to see that coming, but But I want to know what was, if Africa had slaves, let's stop playing with our imagination. Let's stop letting our imagination go wild. Let's go with proof. If there were slaves in Africa, how come there was a door to nowhere that just popped up that they claimed that the last slave ship went through, even though there are no slave ships that me or you or nobody can go to? We can go to plantations where they moved us out of our houses and made us build plantations. And they're still there, but there's no slave boats. And now all of a sudden, Africa is selling us all this story that they claim they never knew about. And we're going over there to pay to see a door that they claim they loaded us on ships to, even though there's no more history about American slavery. What did the slaves build? Then they wanted to say slaves built the pyramids. Then they built the pyramids and put their faces on it so white people could come and erase their faces and put it back. No, we all had our kingdoms. Ours is just buried. So if slaves came from Africa, what was the slaves in Africa doing? If white people was making money and stuff, why would they need to come bring slaves at the tip of the North American continent? Because America is on the tip, this little place here. If they need to come, what happened to all the people that was already here? How did white people know I'm gonna go over there and make them build this and make them pick this stuff that they never seen before in their lives and make them do all this stuff? And no, you came over here, you discovered a system, and you brought Britain and all them brought the slave ship called Jesus. Bought a ship called Jesus, and y'all invaded America once you could get here because Africans showed you how to get here. Let's tell the truth and shame the devil. Can't nobody come. Africans showed y'all the way here. Came here and took over, and like they say Africans sold us, but did Africans help white people fight us? Because I'm wondering how this story really went. You came over here. How did you know to come here? If you was in Africa and Europe, how did you know to come here? How can if we were not already here, if the Indians were white looking, then how come the Indians weren't enslaved? Because they were black and we were here. How can you come and make a monetary system off of something you don't understand? That's because we had the cotton and the peanut crops and we were sharing back and forth. You came over here and you enslaved and you had guns and y'all came over here and hijacked the end of America just like they hijacked the Middle East. The truth is not going to stay buried. And we coming to the truth. And it's sorry if we got to step on toes and help somebody hurt feelings. But the immigrants that come over here legally and illegally, you need to put respect on our names and respect that start putting the pieces together. You're not coming over here to help build America because your own continent would have been built. Africa was carved up so they can get the resources. Why would they need to bring somebody out of Africa to a place where people were already working and was already, there's evidence. The Almanac statues, like they say, are black, big lips, big nose. It's constantly black. It don't look like
Yep. They definitely were black.
See the men, they might have been short, they like this, but they still had big noses. The hair, let's start putting on our common sense caps, people, and stop looking through history with white eyes. You see, they destroyed maps. I told you when I was in New York City, when I was young, I distinctly remember 2 different maps. Now they don't even teach us that no more.
Wow.
So let's put on our caps. Let's let them stop playing us, and let's give credit where credit is due. Africa, find your history. Jamaica, find your history. We all have respect. Africans, Jamaicans, Haitians, when we come to y'all, we come with money. We don't come taking over nothing. We don't come stealing. We don't come scamming. But we have many stories of Black people going across seas being scammed, going to Airbnbs, getting robbed, bringing our money. When we go in the store, when you know we American, y'all raise the prices. Come on. The world is against foundational Black Americans, and nobody want to tell the truth. As I said, I land my plane. I got to get back to work, and I need y'all to think about that. Peace.
There's a lot to think about.
It is. Peace, everybody.
This is the only way to get us back on track and to rebuild the towns and everything that was destroyed. Black people had a whole government. We created the U.S. Treasury system. They changed it. The first Black president was Black. We created the Black people created the Republican Party. Please look that up. There's a PBS, if I'm gonna find it next time, documentary where they show all the Black people that ran the government. Every time we build something, because white people have never created something on their own except for slavery and white supremacy, that everybody takes over. We built the government, then they took it over. Then it was the American government. It was the American treasury system. But when they divided up the United States, then they turned it to the United States. That's because every state that they took over, they all united under a federal government and took over. We had the first government after slavery. We were wealthy. That's how the hell you think Black Wall Street? In Black Wall Street, we had buses, airplanes. We owned the bus system that America used until they took over. It's time to dig deep. We didn't just have a town where we were all poor. We were elegant. We dressed. We had movie theaters. We had our own. They burned it down so we could integrate because white people were poor. They were struggling.
Exactly.
Again, let me land my plane because I can go on. They said, respectfully, sister, have you ever wondered why the Gullah Geechee traced their roots back to the rice coast of Africa? Because they knew how to cultivate rice. Look it up if you die. Now, it's not no problem. That's the Gullah Geechee, and they're separated.
But can I ask a quick question? And another thing, there was another comment section. This guy was talking. I forgot who I was listening to, and he says he doesn't know who the Gullah Geechee are. He is just Geechee. So there's a difference?
Yes, we got to trace it. Some of them were coming over here during the trade system. It wasn't the Atlantic slave trade. It was the trade system. That's fine. But there was rice fields over here. There's rice fields in China. There wasn't Black people in China. There was the original Black people in Russia were Black. But there were original Black people here in America, the Indians, with the feathers on their head, the moccasins they wore out of leather shoes. Our climate was the perfect climate over here. So we have to understand that. Understand, our climate was the the Gullah Geechee wasn't picking cotton. That was Indian, the peanuts. That's us. That's why they gave the Gullah Geechee their own little tribal system. We're talking about the Black Americans. The Gullah Geechee, I heard they helped with what about the Seminole Indian War? There are pictures. I'm not knocking that the Gullah Geechee, but how come the Gullah Geechee separated? How come we are still here? We have nowhere to be deported to. If they wanted to deport the Gullah Geechee, I guess they'll go to where you said, over to the south, the coast of Africa, right? They trace their roots. We don't have no roots to trace to Africa. All of us that are foundational Black Americans, all our grandparents told us that we were the original Indians. None of our grandparents knew nothing about Africa. My father got pissed when I came from school. Remember, It wasn't that long ago. My mom generation was the first generation to be integrated. And when they got integrated, my mom said they never had white teachers. They were taught this root stuff and everything. They didn't know nothing about it. And when I was coming to my dad was like, what the hell? That's why we got Indian burial grounds around. It's not just Indian reservations. My family had the Indian, my father, he died in the military. So now he's in a military burial ground, but he's supposed to be in his Indian burial ground in Maryland. My grandparents are on their land since I don't know what, that just died in North Carolina. We can put our stuff together. Nobody that is foundational Black American have any stories or any relics, any blankets, anything passed down to them from Africa. And this is what I'm saying. Here we go with the people. We just go back and look at the videos. Go to the Library of Congress. Go see why they changed us from Indian to Black. And look up that one thing. Use your thinking cap. How come the Indians were changed from Indians to Black when they started the birth certificate system? No, Indian to Negro. Then from Negro to colored. Then from colored to Black to African American. Why was that done? Ask yourself, can we use, why was that done? Why was the Indian changed from that if we weren't the Indians? How come the almanac statues have big noses and big lips? How come if we can be traced back, why wouldn't America been sitting us back instead of trying to unalive us? How did we able to build towns and show and build all that? How did we build cars if we didn't have the technology to bend the irons and bend the metals and make the plastics and make the plates? We had over 200 thriving towns after slavery. Think. Let me get up out of here. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. I'm going to need people to start thinking and stop looking through history with white eyes. Why did they erase the maps? Why are we the only people on the face of the earth that white people would kill, unalive if they taught us reading a book? Nobody else, no African, no Jamaican, no Haitian. We are the only people on this earth that was unalive for reading a book. You can call them, look at somebody said, the Choctaw Guard said they were Tartarians. Stop giving them another name. It's Turtle Island. They were black-skinned people. They were people who looked like us, and that's who they was. I don't care what name you give them. We cannot be deported. We cannot be deported to Africa. We can't be deported to Jamaica. All them islands come before you touch America. Peace.
Peace, everybody.